all those rules. That'd be very fine and dandy if that's something you might be able to do for me. But let's go to get that very first guest, Frenzy, up in here. Then also, everybody asking if this is real in the chat. Yes, this is real. I'm just using my buddy's account because I'm banned on all of mine. L TikTok. Could we honestly start the stream off with some L TikToks for banning me everywhere, completely just terrible. What's going on, Frenzy Plays? Do you support Trump?
No, but Parker, not Parker. Dean, we love you. Keep on doing what you're doing.
W fetus, man. W fetus. What's up, Asher? You support Trump?
I do. I've debated you a couple times. I just want to say I respect you a lot, man.
No, I appreciate that from you, dude, especially coming from somebody that we've debated a couple times. I'm going to kick you and move on just because we typically only talk to one person once. You're telling me that we've talked a couple times. Must mean I've had an enjoyable experience with you. But we are going to go to move on to the next guest. Welcome in, Sandra. Do you support Trump?
Kamala Harris 2028.
Okay, all right, Sandra. Let's try to follow the rules here, everybody. Today, it's going to be significantly harder to get Trump supporters in here to debate. But we're on our friends' account. Most people in here are going to be liberals. I mean, most people in here right now are just coming from the notification I put out on the Discord and Instagram. So, you know.
Are you actually using somebody else's account?
I am Eric. How old are you?
Oh, I'm 21. I was wondering why you weren't live today because I saw your buddy Parker that was live today.
Yeah, that's because I am actually using somebody else's
I
account.
love you, Dean. I love you.
Oh, I kicked the wrong person. You're the one saying
I love you.
Well, oh, yeah, what is... Get out of here. Okay. There's 900 people in here. We should hypothetically be able to find one person that supports Trump. Hello, Floyd. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
I do.
I do.
Get the fuck out of here. All right. We're climbing up to 1,000 people in the room with us for the day. I appreciate you being here, everybody. These streams are definitely being pushed out to a significantly smaller amount of people overall, just because of, the fact that we're on our buddy's account. Parker's already live. So we gotta try to break through, this algorithmic
Hi, I'm back.
ban. Oh, Eric, do you support Trump?
Yes, and so I just wanted to say something before we get...
How old are you?
Oh, I was saying before you kicked me, I'm 21, sir.
Okay, what year were you born in?
I was born in 03.
Okay, what's something that only 21-year-olds know?
Oh, okay. So basically, what I wanted to say before we get into the debate, I just wanted to say that even though we may not have the same opinions, I do respect you, and I respect that you debate people. And also, I do not support Trump, and my grandpa loves you. We were talking about politics.
I thank you so much, Eric. That's really cool that your grandpa loves me. Dude, tell him that I love him too. Tell him that I love him too. We're going to move on to the next guest. I think he was under 21. My next question was going to be, how much does a cocktail cost in a big city? Okay, like everybody 21 or older is going to know that one, right? Welcome in, EH. Do you support Trump? All right, EH isn't even here. Moving on to the next guest, everyone. We're just looking for some... Oh, Eric said ouch in the comment section. Eric, I do apologize for kicking you, man. We do that to everybody that's not a Trump supporter. But that's really cool. I mean, I tell your grandpa I love him too. That's great. Rice Puddin', what's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
He banned plastics. He banned paper straws. Those were really annoying.
Okay. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute to get that next guest up in here, y'all. Do be patient while we're working on getting that next guest up in the box, y'all. Welcome in. What's going on, the kid, or do you support Trump?
Hello. I do support Trump. I'm 22, born in 02.
Are you driving?
Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear
driving?
Me? Okay. Perhaps.
Okay. Goodbye. Let's just load up everybody that's in the queue. We're looking for one Trump supporter to start off the day with us. Please make sure that we're following the rules, everybody. I would really appreciate it if you guys would follow the rules.
What's up, bro?
Give us a minute, everyone. We're going to go top to bottom as soon as we get a handful of people in here. All right, top to bottom. That's Donald. That's a child. Echo, do you support Trump?
No, but my dad does, and I just.
John, do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Child. Jackson, do you support Trump?
Fuck Kamala Harris, yes.
Okay. All right. How old are you?
Kamala
What?
How old are you?
14.
All right, everybody. We may just take the day off. I don't think that this that we're gonna be able to push out enough to get any debates going. So we'll try for a little bit harder here. But it's just the same people back in the queue. I'm gonna start banning people that go back in the queue. I'm gonna start with Donald. Donald's already been in the queue. Get banned. Move on to Psyops. Psyops has already been in the queue. Banned. We're gonna ban people that return to the queue. 09 Shako, you've already been in the queue. We're gonna ban you. Goodbye. What's going on, Blake? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
All right, phenomenal, Mr. Blake. We're gonna go ahead and start our live over on YouTube. So if you wouldn't mind giving me a second to do exactly that, that would be sweet. We're gonna go ahead and get that done right now.
All right,
Hello,
gotcha.
and welcome into everybody tuning in on the YouTube live stream. Thank you so much for being here with us for the day. We are on the 135th episode of One Liberal v. 100 Trump supporters. In fact, we already have our very first Trump supporter on the line who's ready and willing to debate. So, Mr. Blake, go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Donald J. Trump, who I consider to be the worst president of either of our lifetimes.
So the reason why I support Trump is because I believe that he should not be a convicted felon. I know that they're currently doing an appeal process right now, but the reason why I support him is because I don't believe that he is a felon because of falsifying, in quote unquote, falsifying business records.
Well, he is a felon. He's a 34 count felon. All appeal attempts have been unsuccessful. A unanimous jury of 12 was convinced that he did commit these 34 felonies, the falsification of business records with an intent to commit a second step crime. That's a fact. Now, I mean, even assuming that he wasn't a felon, I don't think that him not being a felon gives you enough reason to support him as president. You know, like for instance, Kamala Harris was also not a felon. So, in accordance with your argument, you'd thereby have the same amount of reason to support Trump as you did have to support Kamala Harris, given that we're operating inside of this delusional fairy tale land where he isn't a 34 count convicted felon.
So are you telling me to give you another reason why I support him, or are you saying, like, explain my end of why I believe he's not a felon?
Well, I'm just saying that if he wasn't a felon, this wouldn't give you any special reason to support him, because neither was Biden or Kamala Harris, and you didn't support them. But he is a felon.
Okay, well, I believe he isn't a felon. I want to do that track real quick. I believe he's not a felon because falsifying business records in the state of New York has never, ever, ever been a felony. It was an unprecedented case, and I do understand that a jury of 12 did convict him, but it also doesn't really help when you get convicted by the state of New York when you know you're an obvious Republican.
So any Republican that gets convicted in the state of New York is truly innocent?
No, that's not a very entirely good
also,
point.
sorry, for everyone over on YouTube, I apologize that you couldn't hear the guess. I got that fixed now. Whoever came into my TikTok live stream and told me that, I appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and catch up the YouTube stream real quick. So this guy's arguing that he supports Trump because he doesn't think Trump's a felon. That's his argument. That's his that's his argument, everybody. So anyways, you're telling me that it wasn't a felony because no one else had been charged with this felony, and it's just a misdemeanor in the state of New York. Well, so misdemeanors can be made felonies, given that they meet additional qualifications. Like for instance, in my state of Colorado, simply driving while drunk is a misdemeanor criminal offense. However, if you drive while drunk, harm anybody else's property, kill somebody, etc., then it's bumped up to a felony, right? And it works the same way with a falsification of business records in New York. So falsification of business records on its own is a misdemeanor in the state of New York. However, when you meet the additional qualification of falsifying those business records with an intent to commit a second step crime, that's when it's bumped up to a Class E felony. And that is what Donald Trump was convicted of. But once again, I don't know why this would relate to why you support him, because once again, you very obviously don't support Biden, didn't support Harris. Neither of them were felons.
I understand that. I was just saying that that's a big point for a lot of people who or support the Democratic Party, is that they don't believe that a felon should be in charge of the country. Now,
I'd say that's probably a much smaller point today. I think that there's much larger concerns in his 34 felonies. I'd say the civil court that held him liable for grape is definitely a bigger problem. I'd say the fact that now he's covering up for Epstein is a huge fucking problem. And I mean, it's such a big problem that now even people on the right are recognizing that and leaving the MAGA cult. And how has he responded to that? By just simply calling them all stupid. I mean, he is like literally protecting like elitist pedophiles right now, today, by directing Republicans to vote against the release of the Epstein files, and by calling the Epstein files a Democrat hoax.
Okay. Well, back to my earlier point about the state of New York being not a very fair place to hold a trial. I mean, look at what's happening with the Diddy case right now. Like, I feel as though that should have definitely been escalated way higher than what they gave him, and he was tried in the state of New York. I just feel like,
well, all that proves is that men who do shitty things to women are let off easy, and that's a fact. We live in a patriarchy, and the fact that considering that men who do shitty things to women are let off easy, and still yet a unanimous jury of 9 was able to hold Trump liable for the rape of a woman, definitely tells a very compelling story. But I also want to point out that you, for whatever reason, didn't respond to anything that I had to say about Epstein. I wonder why that is.
oh, well, I mean, obviously, like, that's a huge issue, and that doesn't mean that I agree with everything Trump does, and I do agree that that's like way, way higher of a deal than a lot of other things.
He's covering up for elitist pedophiles, and he's calling the Epstein files a Democrat hoax. That is really bad. What is the overwhelming good that he's doing that kind of overrules that bad?
Well, I feel like the way that he handled the Iran situation, I feel like his diplomacy on that end with peace through strength, I feel like is definitely a good issue, like a good way to fix it.
That was so mishandled. That was terrible.
Okay, how so?
Because what was the outcome? The outcome was us hitting a couple of their facilities and only setting them back by a month or two, according to early intelligence reports from our own government. But now we have no clue how much enriched uranium they have, where they're holding it, or what they're doing with it, because we struck them, the Iranian parliament revoked the oversight clearance from the IAEA, which is a international nuclear watchdog. So we just no longer know what their levels of uranium enrichment are. And then one step further, I mean, what did he do? The ceasefire? Well, according to him, that was violated by both Israel and Iran, and he doesn't give a fuck that Israel violated it. We're still allies with them. We're always covering up for their mistakes. Actually, today, Israel bombed a Catholic church in Palestine and killed 5 people. And Caroline Leavitt, Donald Trump's press secretary today, responded to that by calling it a mistake. No, it's a goddamn war crime. So they're always doing whatever Israel wants them to do, even if it, is against our own national security interests, because obviously not having a single clue what Iran is doing with their uranium or what their uranium enrichment levels are is against our national security interests. But, he ensured that outcome nonetheless, just because Israel asked him to bomb their nuclear facilities.
Okay.
And also, how did that help America?
Well, obviously it didn't help America, but you have to support your allies. Do you not? I feel like that's one of the good things that you should do as a country.
Wait, so a good thing that Trump is doing is putting Israel first?
He's not putting Israel first.
Yeah, you did. You just said that we have to support our allies. Everybody, be drawn in by my grand hypnosis. You must support Israel no matter what. You must do what Israel wants us to do. We must support Israel. Even though Israel doesn't support us, even though Israel violated the ceasefire agreement that we set forth, we must support them. And you don't even believe that we have to support all of our allies. In the 90s, we entered into the Budapest Memorandum with Ukraine, stating that we'd defend them if they're invaded. that's essentially an allyship as it relates to us defending them if they're invaded. And what did Trump do? He said, we can't give them $1. We need to violate that allyship. We need to break the Budapest Memorandum. And apparently it won him the election. So I don't know if even the Trump administration is in the loop with your claim that we have to support our allies.
Yeah, I feel like that was definitely a miss end on my end. I meant to say that we needed to keep Iran from having a nuclear weapon, and you did say that we only set them a month back, but I did read that on CNN, which I do agree that CNN does sometimes have truthful stuff, but also sometimes they like to spin it a different way, because other sources that I've seen are saying that that was like almost like a surgery kind of thing where we basically set them back more than just a month.
Right. So do you think that Iran having nuclear weapons is a grave threat to this country?
I wouldn't say it was a grave threat, but it's definitely a problem for a lot of people.
If a president literally greenlit Iran into constructing nuclear weapons, would you ever support them again?
Well, I mean, that's kind of like a back-ended point. Does that make sense? Because just because
doesn't make sense. If Donald Trump greenlit Iran, if Donald Trump greenlit Iran to construct nuclear weapons, would you still support him?
Probably not.
Probably not. He greenlit Iran to construct nuclear weapons when he pulled us out of the JCPOA in 2018 and he left. Yeah. So we had an agreement with Iran that prevented them from building nuclear weapons, obligated them to dismantle all of the machinery required to develop nukes. It obligated them to give 97% of their enriched uranium to Russia. It gave us 24/7 surveillance access to every single one of their nuclear facilities. The JCPOA was a great deal. Trump pulled us out simply because Obama's signature was on it, greenlighting them to further their construction of nukes. So he left because, he knew that he would have to make the concession there, that he no longer supports Trump. He wasn't willing to do that, so he just left. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest, everyone. Give us a minute here while we're trying to load up that next guest, y'all. It looks like the TikTok stream is definitely moving a little bit slowly today. Hopefully we'll be back on the main account soon. We're going to continue to try to grow the stream. What's going on, King C? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
25.
Great. If you're watching and you would like to support me, you could find my Venmo, my PayPal in the link tree in my bio. I also think I have my Cash App up there. You could find that on TikTok by seriously just clicking the link in my bio. You could also find the Venmo and the PayPal in the pinned message over on YouTube. But anyways, Mr. King C, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
I mean, just look at this month. Look at the surplus.
Surplus of what?
27 billion for the first time in years.
27 billion from the tariffs?
Yes, indeed.
So we now have more taxable revenue in the hands of our federal government that are, being paid for disproportionately by low-income Americans, since they spend a disproportionate amount of their income on the bare necessities to live, meaning they're picking up a disproportionate burden of that tariff bill, huh?
I mean, your party was getting ready to, acquire 100,000 more IRS individuals to audit Americans?
So it was actually 80,000 under the inflation.
So you
reduction.
support
Hiring more IRS agents to enforce the law that's on the books is definitely completely
not to
decoupled,
enforce the
separate,
law.
and
Come on
detached.
now. You know it's not to enforce the law. It was to audit every single American and company to screw us over, man. Come on.
Really? So they weren't enforcing the law. So what were they doing?
Getting ready to audit us Americans and our businesses, my friend.
Oh, you mean like the millionaires and billionaires that have been exploiting tax loopholes since the tax loopholes were created?
Why didn't your party do anything about it?
Well, why did our party do anything about it? It's because Donald Trump's shitty tax policy was set to expire this year. But I mean, I like the pivots. They're cute. But I do want you to respond to the first point, because you told me that you support Donald J. Trump because it is the case that he was able to raise $27 billion this month off of tariffs. Well, my response to that, once again, that you haven't addressed yet, is that bill's disproportionately paid for by low-income Americans. So in other words, you just support Trump screwing over the low-income Americans in this country. You have absolutely no ground to try to make any argument that the Biden-Harris administration or the Democrats are bad for the average American when it's Kamala Harris who ran on tax cuts for 100 million American workers in the low and the middle class. Then it's Donald Trump who supports a disproportionate tax on the poor while also defunding Medicaid by 1.1 trillion, defunding food stamps by 156 billion, defunding free school student lunches, defunding extracurricular activities from elementary and middle school students, defunding after-school activities, and then literally burning $400 billion worth of food, costing an additional $50 million just to get it done that was supposed to go to starving children on the global stage. Get real, buddy. You have no ground to be talking about the 80,000 IRS agents hired under the Biden-Harris administration.
Okay, so then let's talk about how the Biden administration
Let's talk about
raised
anything but my response to your original point. Thank you.
What about raising $2 billion for that whack job of a campaign you called just to be short $2 million? You really want people like that in charge of the economy? Are you nuts?
I'll happily respond to your point. That was wrong, by the way. It was $1 billion. I'll happily respond to that point after you respond to my response to the original point.
$1 billion.
See, the way that debates work is you make a point why you support Trump, and then I respond to it, and you either tell me why I'm wrong or you concede. But you don't have an ability to do that because I'm not wrong, and you're a member of a cult, so you won't concede. So instead,
I'm
you're
the
just
member
trying
of a
to
cult.
shoot more points at me. So do
Sure
you
I
feel
am.
like responding to my original critique of your claim that you support Donald Trump because of the money raised off tariffs?
As well as cleaning up the streets that the Biden administration left
I don't think he has the
with
ability
these
to do it.
immigrants.
He doesn't have the ability to do it. He won't even respond to the point. He just is like, oh, I'm going to pivot to mass deportation now. This guy doesn't have an ability to respond. You're freaking out. You look terrible right now, bro. I'm not even kidding. You look so fucking bad.
I look bad?
Yeah, because you won't respond to my point. You said that you support Trump because of the $27 billion raised off of tariffs. My response to that was, well, that's bad because that's a disproportionate tax on the poor.
A
because those are the
surplus for a
individuals
government
in which
is
are,
bad?
in which are paying
A
that
surplus for the government is bad.
It's not a surplus. It's
Do
just
you
the
hear
money raised
yourself?
off of the tariffs. It's $27
It was
billion
a surplus.
this month.
It was a surplus. The first one in years.
Once again,
Don't-
that surplus is being paid for by low-income Americans. I don't support that.
It doesn't matter what you support or don't support. It was a surplus, correct?
I'm actually not so sure. Would you be able to give me a source for that claim?
Look it up on Google, my friend.
Okay, well, when I look it up on Google,
$27 billion surplus for the first time in years.
Okay, phenomenal. What caused that surplus?
The tariffs.
Okay, well, once again, so no. I actually don't support that surplus because I don't think that we should be putting our government in the green by just disproportionately taxing poor people, especially when we're also passing policy to revoke Medicaid away from 17 million low-income poor people, revoking food stamps from 3 million low-income poor people. I don't think the way that our government should operate at a surplus is by just making the material conditions for those that already have it at the worst even worse, right? Like, the point of why we should value our government running at a surplus is for economic health, right? However, I don't think it's healthy economically or morally speaking to be a reverse Robin Hood, to take money from the poor and to give it to the rich.
I get what you're saying, but that's not what's going on.
Okay, so you're telling me that it's not true that low-income Americans disproportionately pay the tariffs. It's not true that 17 million low-income Americans are expected to be kicked off of Medicaid, and it's not true that 3 million low-income Americans are expected to be kicked off of food stamps. So I'm going to go and give you my reasons for the first point. The reason why tariffs are disproportionately paid by low-income Americans is because ultimately that bill is passed off to the consumer. The reason to believe that is because mega corporations either exporting the goods from a country like China or importing the goods goods in America from a country like China just simply don't have the profit margins to absorb a 35% tariff. They will go out of business if they pay it because their profit margins are more typically around 3 to 5%. So obviously they'll have to pass that off to the consumer. So now that we've agreed that they obviously have to pass that one off to the consumer, well, guess what? The average low-income American lives paycheck to paycheck. The average millionaire saves around 20% of their income. At the end of the day, the less money you make, the more money you spend on the bare necessities to live. And because low-income Americans spend a disproportionate amount of their income on those, bare necessities to live, they're picking up a disproportionate amount of that tariff bill. So that's who's paying that. Now to move on to my second claim that 17 million low-income Americans are being kicked off of Medicaid. This is true. This is a projection coming from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. The reason why so many people are going to be kicked off of Medicaid is because one, they're defunding at $1.1 trillion, which is projected to increase healthcare premiums. A lot of low-income Americans are going to be kicked off of Medicaid for the reason being that they just simply will not be able to afford what are they called? The higher premiums that we are to expect in the next 3 years. B, because of the newly imposed work requirement, and as well as 3 million people are going to be kicked off of SNAP because our federal government is defunding it by $156 billion, passing more of that bill/brunt to the states. And a lot of red states just simply don't generate the capital to be able to cover that bill for themselves. And because they don't generate the capital to be able to cover that bill for themselves, they'll inevitably cut so many people off of them. So there is really good reason to believe every single one of my 3 points. Instead of you just simply saying that they're not true, I'd actually really enjoy a counter argument.
I mean, I hate to break it to you, but there's a lot of able-bodied humans that are receiving these benefits. What do you say about that? There are people that can literally go out and work that are taking advantage of these benefits. Do you find that okay?
Yeah, I don't think that Medicaid should have a work requirement. I agree that our government should use policy to incentivize employment. I just don't think that that policy should be healthcare policy. It should be separate and decoupled from that policy. Another reason
But
why
I'm
I disagree
also,
with it.
but I'm also,
One moment. Another
I
reason.
don't
One
mean, I
moment.
don't mean to interrupt, but I also mean the SNAP.
Another reason why I disagree with a work requirement is because of the administrative burden of the fact that there will be people that work 80 hours a month that aren't able to fill out the adequate proper work in order to prove it to the government. When Arkansas implemented a work requirement on their statewide Medicaid, we saw that 20,000 people lost their benefits, not because they weren't working, but because they couldn't prove it. And then you're going to go on to say that this is also including SNAP, right?
Yes.
Right. Well, SNAP has always had a work requirement. You're wrong. Right. The reason why people are being kicked off of SNAP is literally just because they're defunding it by $156 billion.
Okay. I guess I need to research a little bit more. Okay, you got me there.
Okay. Well, I mean, now all that.
See, I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong, but I'm just not educated enough on the subject. But you're right, I guess.
Oh, and now that we understand that, it's like predominantly like those 3 reasons why we are apparently in a $27 billion surplus this month. Obviously, that's not good. That's not good justification. Like we shouldn't be going into a surplus by cutting social programs for those that deserve it, or by just imposing a new tax on poor people.
Right.
Right. Is there anything else you wanted to go over?
No, actually.
Okay, man. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
You as well.
We're going to move on to the next guest. If you happen to be one of the 2.6 thousand people watching the stream, everybody, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. We are going to move on to the next guest, Alex right now. Hello, what's going on? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, why's that?
Well, I just like that he's sending like the illegals back to Mexico, and
do you think that all undocumented immigrants are Mexican?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I mean, do you self-identify as an idiot?
No. I gotta go around my town every day, and I just gotta tell it like you guys gotta go back and yeah, pretty much.
That wasn't even a cogent sentence. So do you or do you not self-identify as an idiot?
No.
Okay, well, why not? It was completely idiotic for you to say that all undocumented immigrants are Mexican.
Well, I also like that big beautiful bill that he's putting
Well,
in.
we're not just gonna move on yet. Just say I'm an idiot for thinking all undocumented immigrants are Mexicans. Then tell me why you support mass deportation. Name one good outcome of it.
I'm an idiot for thinking that all illegal immigrants are Mexicans.
Base. Now name one good outcome of mass deportation on this country.
Well, I don't exactly know, but I know that it's good, definitely.
Well, if you can't name a good outcome, how do you know that it's good?
Because Trump is beautiful, and love that about him.
Okay, moving on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. Y'all, everybody, we're going to go ahead and load that next guest up into the live right now. We got Dave loaded into the stream. Here we go, everybody. Make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. Also, quickly, I would love to thank Alexander for the $20 donation over on Cash App for the day. Thank you so much for the love, Alexander. You are phenomenal. Alexander with the 20 says, love your content, bro. You're dope as hell. Alexander, dude, thank you so much for the love. Holy shit. I want to see 200 Alexander W's down below. As well as Leah, thank you for the $3 over on Cash App as well. What's going on, Dave? How old are you?
22.
22. Do you support Trump?
No, not at all.
All right, Dave, we're just looking for Trump supporters, so I got to kick you. We're going to go and move on to the next guest now. Everyone just be patient. We got Sticky Fish 44 loading up. Hello, do you support Trump?
Hello? Yes.
All right, why is that?
Cookie mugs you. Cookie still mugs you. You're chopped, bro. You're chopped.
So why do you support Trump?
Cookie mugs you, bro. He mugs you. I'm shitting right now. That's how I feel about you.
So true. So why do you support Trump?
I got poop in my toilet. You want to see it?
No, I don't.
Turn my camera on
You
for
don't
you.
even have
Come
the
on.
ability to turn your camera on.
Can you turn my camera on for me?
You literally don't have the ability to.
Can you turn it on for me?
I can't.
Please. Pretty please.
I don't even have the ability to. You
Pretty
have to,
please.
You have to have 1,000 followers in order to turn your camera on. You don't
Pretty
have
please.
1,000
Come on,
followers.
bro. Put a cherry on top.
I can't just snap my fingers and make you have 1,000 followers.
All right, everybody follow me in the chat. Come on, guys.
Literally,
Let's get me
nobody
to
is going to
1,000
follow you in the
followers.
chat.
Let's get me to 1,000 followers. Come on, guys.
Let's see how that one works, buddy. You're.
All right.
You actually lost a
think
follower. You lost a follower. You lost a follower. You went from 17 followers to 16 followers. That's so
How could they do
embarrassing.
this?
That's so embarrassing. How does that even happen? How does that even happen? What the fuck? How does that even happen? He only has 17 followers. What are the chances that one of his 17 followers would have been in this live? What are the chances? We're going to go to move on to the next guest, Mac. Everyone just give us a minute so we can get that next guest up in the box. Here we go, everybody. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Mac? All right, Mac isn't here, so we're going to go to move on to the next guest. Everyone just do be patient. We're going to get that next guest, Robert, loaded into the box. Everybody make sure that we're double tapping away in that phone screen and showing out this live with a handful of friends, y'all. Let's go to get that next guest up in here. We got them loaded in. What's going on, Robert? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I am. But I got a
Oh.
question for you.
Oh, Jesus,
How old are
Robert.
you?
How old am I? I am 20 years old.
Yeah. You ain't even old enough to even wipe diapers yet. I'm 73.
Wait,
and the reason why
20-year-olds
I support
can't.
Trump is this.
Wait. 20-year-olds can't change a baby's diaper?
Yeah, you're not even old enough to know what that's like. You know, you're 20 years old. You ain't even started living yet, my friend.
You'd be
But let me
surprised
tell you
about the
this.
amount of 20-year-old parents I know.
Yeah, I was that age before. You know, I was that age one time before in my life. But let me tell you this. You know, I've been listening to you for the last half hour. You know, and you've downplayed everybody. You know, simple facts. What Trump has done. You know, all these other countries have been charging us tariffs for centuries, shipping their stuff over here and not paying nothing. But if we ship something to them, we pay anywhere from 20 up to 100% tariff. Some of these countries don't even let us put our own products in their market, and you know, and that's wrong. So why is it wrong for us to not charge them tariffs and make them pay to ship stuff over here to us? That's how we increase our products.
Yeah, point number one. Donald Trump isn't just tariffing countries that tariff us.
Turn
He's
your
al-
volume up a little bit, please.
Robert,
Turn
you,
your volume up just a little bit.
Robert, you have to turn my volume up with a volume slider on the side of your phone.
Oh, okay. Well, I got here, and like I said, I'm 73 years old, so I'm over the hill.
No.
I've done everything. I've been in the army. I've been in service. Another thing, y'all talk about them bombing, a Catholic church.
Yeah.
Over in Iran.
Not Iran, in
talk
Palestine.
about them. Well, in Palestine, whatever, That's not our war. Shit happens. As I always say in my line of work,
It's literally a war crime.
No, it's not a war crime. There's no war been declared. This is where everybody.
Israel has declared war on Palestine.
No, the United States have not declared any war. That takes an act of Congress.
We weren't the one that bombed the church. Israel's the one that bombed the church.
Well, it's Israel's problem. It's not ours. Iran was our problem to the world. You keep saying that nobody has proof of the nuclear facilities that they had and how close they was to creating a nuclear bomb. You said also that did you think that it was a threat?
I have a question.
To the
Who
whole
funds
civilized
Israel?
world.
Who funds Israel?
You say my time's up?
No, who funds Israel? Who gives Israel the
okay.
weapons and bombs that they likely used to hit that church?
Yeah, well, we probably did because we supply a lot of weapons to Israel.
Right. So if it's their problem, it's also kind of ours because we're the one giving them the ammunition.
We can't help. This is what everybody's overlooking. We cannot help what somebody else does.
Well, we can if we're giving. Israel, we can if we're giving them the means to do it.
Then why are we giving Ukrainian weapons then? Why are we giving them weapons?
Because just like Palestine, they're also being ingressed upon by a foreign by a foreign agitator. That would be why, Robert. I will say I do think that your time's up now. I'm sorry, I can't even hear myself talk over all that background noise. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next guest, Lil Ray. Everyone, just give us a minute here while we're working on getting that next guest, Lil Ray, up in the box. Hello, Lil Ray. Do you support Trump?
Oh, nah, bro. I don't support Trump. I didn't even hit the button. Yeah.
No worries at all, dude. No worries at all. Let's go to move on to that next guest, Jake. Battery Acid Yum. Thank you so much for the galaxy. I really appreciate you for that love, Battery Acid Yum. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest right now, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get them loaded up into the stream.
Hello, my name is Brianna Cornell, and I'm 18, and I'm not a Trump supporter, but I would like to come on here and spread awareness that your Trump, your president, is a pedophile. There's many reports of him going on the island and raping little girls with Jeffrey Epstein, actually. So I don't want to hear nobody say nothing about, oh, this is my president, this is that. There's multiple pictures, it's documented and everything. So if y'all want to go and support a pedophile, that's on y'all. That's who's bombing other countries. That's who's going to get us bombed. So all of y'all, every single one of y'all, don't have nothing because your president is a pedophile. So get that straight. Thank you, Dean, for coming on here and spreading awareness about everything, about that island he had where they would take little girls, they would give them a passport, correct? They would go to the island and they would take away their passport, the little girls' passports, and they would keep them on the island so they cannot leave the island. They would get sex trafficked, they would get raped, they would get sold, they would get everything. There's multiple documents, and it makes me so sad that people don't see any of that, and they just support him. So please do your research before anything, please. Thank you.
He's also just boasted about sexually exploiting teen girls too. He's just boasted about walking into their changing rooms. It's pretty insane. It's really fucking gross. Hello, Frank. Do you support Trump? No, Frank's not here. We're gonna try to move on to the next guest right now. Make sure we're in that queue that you support Trump, y'all. Hey, what's going on, man? Do you support Trump?
Oh, no, bro. My bad.
No worries, dude. Have a good rest of your day, dude. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. We got Ella loading up, guys. Make sure we're in that queue that we're American adults that support Trump.
Hello.
What's up? Do you support Trump?
I support Kamala Bav. Something to say, please.
No, sorry, dude. We're just looking for Trump supporters to debate. We're gonna go to move on to the next guest. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
No, I don't. But I just want to say
Okay.
I cannot believe.
We're gonna go to move on to the next guest. Guys, please. I'm trying to send a text to my girlfriend, and I can't do that with a bunch of people coming in and coming out that I gotta kick. Please, only hop in that queue if you're a Trump supporter. Please. What's going on, Mahmoud? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Nice. So why do you support the worst president of your life?
Okay, it's not like I love the guy, but I think he's a better option than what we have.
Oh, truly, why?
I feel like he has problems with the thing like he wants to change the things that are like current problems. You know what I mean?
Like which ones?
Like for example, the illegals. I think kind of having them like in here is like having undocumented. Like I don't have a problem with immigration. I'm an immigrant myself, but I feel like it does shine like it blocks other people from getting the opportunity that I had if someone could just cross the border and
Well, that's not true at all. It actually only gives them a better opportunity, especially if we offer mass amnesty. But let me
What do
ask
you
you a
mean?
question about mass deportation. What is one positive outcome of mass deportation on this country?
One, I mean, they're sending pedophiles or sorry, am I not allowed to say that?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, they're sending just bad people away. Like
They're sending
people that-
pedophiles away?
Yeah.
No, they're
Like-
protecting pedophiles.
Who are they protecting?
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein and every single person indicted in proximity of Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, right now they are protecting the Epstein files. They do not want to release them. They're calling them a Democrat hoax. And he's even now lashing out on his own supporters that have told him that he's wrong for not releasing them by calling them stupid. As well as they've, all Republicans have now voted against the public release of the Epstein files. Donald Trump has been caught lying about the files. AG Pambandi's been caught lying about the files. We had somebody in the FBI step down because of this mess. As well as like G. Maxwell. She went to prison in association with Epstein. She said that a client list exists and she wants to talk about like these elitist pedophiles that are on it. And well, guess what? Donald Trump didn't let her. So yeah, Trump's protecting the pedos.
I mean, okay, like I guess as far like I don't agree with any of that, but I mean, I'm still saying that he's like going after the people that are like committing horrible crimes on the streets, like lesser people.
What? No, he's letting people walk free that commit horrible crimes on the streets. Can we agree that it's a horrible crime to try to kill a cop by driving a stun gun into their neck and then pulling their gun out of their waistband and trying to shoot them and kill them with it?
Yeah, that's a bad thing to do.
Well, that's what that's what DJ Rodriguez did on January 6, 2021. When Donald Trump became the president, he pardoned DJ Rodriguez, let him out of jail 8 years early, and called him a patriot. So,
Was that when they stormed the Capitol?
yeah.
My understanding was they pardoned the people because they weren't given a fair trial. That was the reason.
DJ
for pardoning.
Rodriguez was literally caught on camera doing this, had the cop that he did it to testify against him, and then he literally admitted guilt. How is that not a fair trial?
I'm not too educated on that. I'm not going to speak on it, but that was
Obviously nobody can speak on that because it's obviously a fair trial. He was caught on camera doing it. The cop he did it to testified against him, and he admitted that he did it.
if what you're saying is true, I fully agree with you. But
Oh, okay, so now you fully agree with me that Donald Trump is actually just letting the people committing the bad crimes roam free. And fun fact, mass deportation will actually lead to more crimes.
I mean,
yeah, it'll
aren't you,
increase the per capita crime rate because undocumented immigrants are literally less likely to commit crimes, as well as it will increase the total amount of crimes that occur in this country by destabilizing our economy, thereby increasing poverty. And with an increase in poverty, we will also see an increase in crime. So it's funny because you're telling me that you think he's cracking down on crime, but then this policy of mass deportation will actually only increase crime.
So wait, okay, so in a world where everybody can just cross the border whenever they want, you think that's better than having a stronger border? But like,
Why are you now
wait.
pivoting to a conversation about the border when I'm just simply telling you that a policy of mass deportation will increase crime, contradicting the original reason that you gave when you said that it would reduce crime? I don't like the red herring to my argument.
No, hold on. I mean, I'm not even a debater. I'm just here. Like, I want to gain insight. I'm saying, you're saying, like, what you're saying is that like the things that he's doing aren't doing any good for the country.
Right.
But what would you rather have him do? So you'd rather
I'd
have the
rather
border
have them do
open?
mass amnesty and offer undocumented immigrants without prior violent offenses, prior like non-violent crazy criminal offenses, or outstanding warrants from other countries a pathway to residency or citizenship.
Yeah, but the problem is that these people just walk in for free. No, like that's the whole thing. There's no background checks. There's no like there's no.
Obviously, I just said that mass amnesty would exclude a handful of people, and which would necessitate like background checks, etc. So.
Okay, I mean, okay, I agree with you on
Okay,
that.
so
Then.
if you agree with me on mass amnesty, then you don't support mass deportation.
Maybe the way he's doing it isn't a bad way, but at least he's doing it. Like, I mean,
Why would you like say that it's good that he's doing a bad thing?
I don't agree with the amnesty.
Because you
Or, I mean, like,
you
okay,
conceded that
like,
mass deportation was a bad thing, and now you're saying that
Yeah.
it's good that he's doing it. So why are
Well,
you saying that it's good he's doing a bad thing?
I'm saying that he's good that he's doing it because it was a problem, and I feel like with the other, like Biden, for example, like the problem would just be there. There'd be no action. Like, I'd rather have an action being done and like someone's trying to do something that would like
Okay,
better.
so,
Even
so
if it's
what's
not
the
most,
what's the
like-
problem?
What do you mean? What's the problem?
What's the problem? I want you to be clear. What's the problem?
The problem is, like, okay, hold on. When you say mass amnesty, like, break that down for me a little bit more, please.
No, I'm asking you, what is the problem that mass deportation fixes?
There's too many people going into the country, no? There's people that are
Okay, well, what do you mean too many people? So I'm guessing that
So
you
there's-
have some like observable empirical outcomes that demonstrate that there's too many people coming in. Like, what are like the specific observable empirical outcomes of like the immigration that we've seen that just shows there's been too many people?
What are the outcomes?
Yeah, like what's happening in America that shows there's just been too many people coming in?
I guess, like, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I guess like too many people, people taking other like undocumented people taking American citizens passports, or not passports, sorry, their jobs, like taking their like opportunities.
Okay, so they actually generate more opportunity by creating a more prosperous economy. Undocumented immigrants add 1.1 trillion through 1.7 trillion dollars to the GDP per year and pay hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes. This would result in a stronger economy with a more galvanized production force and a stronger consumer base. And the culmination of all these facts point towards more opportunity for everybody.
But yeah, I guess you're right. I'm not. I don't know much about this topic. You're right.
Okay, is there anything else that you want to go over?
No, I mean you changed my mind. I just
Cool.
wanted to gain some insight, man.
Cool, you have a good one, dude. Take care. For everybody watching, I think that we may just go over to Parker's stream. I think that the live stream on here on TikTok just isn't sending out. So on TikTok, we're just going to go over to Mr. Parker's. See if that works. Quickly, before we do head over to Mr. Parker's, I'd like to thank Alexandria for the $20 over on Venmo. Alexandria says, love listening to your lives after work. Keep up the great work, Dean. Thank you for the love, Alexandria. That is seriously so kind of you. Let's get 200 Alexandria W's down below. As well as let's get 200 Marie W's. Marie says, for the best weapon we have. Marie, thank you so much for your kindness. Seriously, that's so kind of you. Thank you. Let's show some love to Marie down below, everybody. Thank you so much, Marie. We're going to go ahead and get set up right now to head over to Parker's. We're going to get set up before we do. You guys won't be able to hear me for a second here, but it'll automatically reconnect ASAP.